Ladies and gentlemen, there is a rhythm to life that cannot be denied. Just as the tides obey the pull of the moon and the seasons turn with precision, your money, too, is guided by laws that are often hidden from plain sight. These laws are not written in financial textbooks, nor are they taught in classrooms. Yet, they silently govern the rise and fall of wealth in your life. When you understand them, you step into harmony with abundance. When you ignore them, you find yourself in constant struggle, no matter how hard you work. Today, I want to share with you 7 hidden spiritual laws that control your money. But for our time together, we'll go deep into 5 of them. If you allow these truths to enter not just your mind, but your way of living, money will no longer be a mystery. It will become a loyal servant rather than a ruthless master. Everything in your life is shaped first in the unseen world of thought and belief before it ever becomes visible in the material world. What you believe about yourself, about money, about opportunity, silently carves the path ahead of you. If your belief is that money is always scarce, that wealth belongs only to a select few, but then that belief becomes the ceiling of your experience. But the moment you dare to hold a new belief, that abundance is possible for you, that opportunities are everywhere, that you are worthy of receiving, you open the doors to a different reality. Belief is the architect of your destiny. Every fortune ever built began in the unseen blueprint of a mind that believed it was possible. Think of the countless innovators who began with little more than an idea. Their outer resources were limited, but their inner conviction was limitless. It was that conviction that magnetized the people, the circumstances, and the money to bring their vision into form. When you shift your belief, you shift your energy. Suddenly, you begin to notice chances you once ignored. You start to hear possibilities in conversations that previously passed you by. A belief in scarcity makes you walk past doors that are wide open. A belief in abundance makes you see doors where walls once stood. It is not the world that changes first. It is your perception of it. Begin with the simple practice of asking yourself, what do I truly believe about money? Do I see it as a constant struggle, a thing I must chase and fight for? Or do I see it as energy that flows freely when I am in harmony with it? The answers to these questions will reveal the hidden laws guiding your financial life. There was once a woman who lived paycheck to paycheck, convinced she was destined for lack. Each bill that arrived filled her with dread. One day she decided to experiment with a new belief. Instead of seeing her bills as burdens, she chose to see them as evidence of her ability to live, to have a roof, electricity, and food. This simple shift from fear to gratitude changed the way she approached her work. She became more creative, more confident, and soon was offered a promotion she never thought possible. Her outer world changed only after her inner world believed it could. When belief changes, life changes. Every new level of wealth, health, and opportunity waits behind the gate of your conviction. Believe in limitation, and you will find it everywhere. Believe in possibility, and life will bend itself to show you just how true that belief can become. Money, like the air you breathe, is meant to move. It is not meant to sit stagnant, locked away in fear, but to flow in and out of your life with rhythm and ease. When you understand this law, you stop clutching tightly in panic, and you begin to trust the movement of energy that always brings more when you allow it to circulate. Imagine the bloodstream stops flowing, the body weakens and collapses. In the same way, when money is hoarded in fear, the flow of life becomes restricted. Opportunities dry up, creativity is stifled, and even what you have begins to shrink. On the other hand, when money moves through you, spent wisely, shared generously, vision, it renews itself, multiplies, and returns in unexpected ways. Look at thriving economies. They are fueled not by those who clutch, but by those who circulate. A shopkeeper earns, spends at another store, pays his workers, and those workers spend in their communities. The cycle continues, each transaction feeding the whole. You are a vital part of this circulation. Every purchase you make, every act of giving, every investment is not the end of your money, but the beginning of its next journey back to you. The mistake many make is believing that when money leaves their hands, it is gone forever. But nothing in nature works that way. The tide that goes out always returns. The seed planted in the soil multiplies before it comes back as harvest. So it is with money. What you send out carries your energy and intention, and it circles back, sometimes directly, often in ways you could not predict. There was once a man who, though burdened by debt, decided to shift his approach. Instead of paying his bills with dread, he chose to release each payment with gratitude, affirming that money was circulating to keep his life in motion. Within months, New clients appeared in his business, referrals increased, and his income grew steadily. What changed? His willingness to cooperate with circulation instead of resisting it. When you spend in fear, you dam the river. When you spend with gratitude, you release the current that carries more wealth into your life. Circulation is proof of trust. Trust that the flow of life supports you. That money is never gone, but only in motion. Honor this law, and you will never fear the ebb and flow, for you will know the tide always returns. Wealth follows value like a shadow follows light. The money you attract is never separate from the worth you create in the lives of others. When you place your focus on increasing your value, through your skills, your service, you step into alignment with the law that governs lasting prosperity. Money is not the cause, it is the effect. The true cause is the usefulness, impact, and benefit you bring into the world. Consider the objects you willingly pay for each day. A simple bottle of water at the right moment can feel worth far more than its cost, not because of the plastic and liquid, but because of the relief it provides. A book becomes priceless to someone whose life is changed by its ideas. A teacher's words may alter the course of a student's entire future. Value is not measured in hours or effort, but in the transformation created. When you seek only to take, money resists you. When you become a source of genuine value, money cannot help but flow toward you. Think of the businesses that rise to great heights. They do so not because they are lucky, but because they solve problems in ways that improve lives. The small cafe that remembers your name and makes you feel welcome provides value beyond the coffee. The artist whose work stirs your heart has given you more than colors on a canvas. They have given you a feeling, a connection. In your own life, the question is not, how can I make more money? The better question is, how can I increase the value I offer? A woman who shifted from asking for higher pay to asking how she could contribute more ideas, more efficiency, more solutions, soon found herself indispensable. The promotion she had been chasing began to chase her. Value multiplies when it is shared. Your unique talents, your experiences, your perspective, these are treasures no one else can replicate. When you give them fully, without holding back, money arrives as the natural reflection of the worth you have provided. To live by this law is to stop chasing wealth and instead become wealth in action. By becoming valuable, you draw resources, opportunities, and people who recognize and reward that value. When you focus on the enrichment of others, your own enrichment is inevitable. This is the quiet power of the law of value. The more you give, the more life insists on giving back to you. Every exchange of money is far more than numbers shifting from one account to another. It is an exchange of energy, carrying with it the thoughts, emotions, and intentions of the giver. When you hand over money in fear or resentment, you attach that vibration to the transaction. When you release it with gratitude and confidence, you charge it with abundance. Money is not cold and lifeless. It is alive with the energy you pour into it. Think of the times you paid a bill reluctantly, muttering under your breath about how unfair it felt. That energy lingers, creating a pattern of resistance that echoes back into your financial life. Now recall a moment when you purchased something that delighted you. A gift for a loved one, a trip that lifted your spirit. You may have spent the same amount, but the energy behind it was entirely different. One drained you, the other expanded you. The law of energy exchange reminds you that money is not leaving you, it is moving through you. When you bless its departure, you set in motion its joyful return. A man once began the practice of saying, "Thank you," every time he paid a bill, imagining that his money was watering the garden of his own life. Within a year, his business doubled, not because the bills disappeared, but because his energy toward them transformed. Every purchase, every payment, every investment is a chance to seed your financial future. The energy you infuse into that act is the harvest you will later reap. If you give begrudgingly, you close the door to greater supply. If you give with faith and generosity, you open the door wider each time. This law also works in your earning. If you perform work with bitterness, you dilute the value of your effort. But when you give your service with enthusiasm, presence, and pride, people feel it. They are drawn to it. Energy, after all, is contagious. What you radiate is what returns. To live by this law is to become deeply conscious of the vibration behind your money. Instead of seeing each transaction as a loss, you see it as a cycle, energy moving out to multiply before coming back. As you practice gratitude in the giving and joy in the receiving, you align yourself with the truth that money is not an enemy but a partner. In honoring the energy behind every exchange, you transform each moment of spending or earning into a magnet for greater abundance. Your financial life is always a mirror of your inner alignment. When your actions, choices, and goals are harmony with what you truly value, money flows with ease. When you chase wealth in ways that contradict your deeper truth, you encounter blockages, frustration, and endless struggle. Alignment is the hidden current that either carries you forward effortlessly or drags you against the tide. Consider the person who longs for freedom, yet accepts work that chains them in stress and resentment. They may earn money, but it slips away quickly, often accompanied by exhaustion or poor health. Now think of someone who pursues a path that excites and fulfills them. Even if they begin with modest income, their energy is alive, their creativity is unleashed, and soon their work attracts recognition and reward. The difference is not in luck, it is in alignment. When your inner beliefs, your outer actions, and your desired outcomes agree with one another, you become magnetic. Opportunities appear at the right time, relationships support you, and money responds to the clarity of your direction. But when your actions are out of step with your values, life will constantly nudge you with obstacles until you return to your authentic path. There was once a man who chose a career solely for its paycheck. Each day drained him, and no amount of money eased the heaviness he carried. Finally, he shifted into work that matched his natural talents and passions. At first the pay was less, but soon his enthusiasm attracted clients and offers that far surpassed his former salary. What changed was not just his job, but his alignment with himself. This law asks you to become honest. Are your financial goals truly your own, or are they borrowed from others' expectations? Are you chasing numbers, or are you creating a life that reflects your genuine desires? Alignment means living in such a way that money becomes a tool to support your values, not a substitute for them. The power of this law is that it frees you. Instead of running after wealth at the cost of peace, you discover that real prosperity is peace itself. Peace of mind, joy in your work, integrity in your choices. From that place, money is no longer forced, it flows naturally, a byproduct of living in truth. When you honor alignment, you no longer trade your soul for security. You create both security and fulfillment by standing in harmony with who you really are. And from that place, wealth becomes inevitable. These are not theories, they are laws. They operate whether you are aware of them or not. The law of belief asks you to expand your vision. The law of circulation asks you to keep money moving. The law of value reminds you to create something meaningful. The law of energy exchange calls you to treat money with gratitude. The law of alignment asks you to live true to yourself. Master these, and money will cease to be a struggle. It will become a natural outcome of the life you are living. So I ask you, which of these laws will you honor today? For the moment you act in harmony with even one, you begin to unlock the 7.